Meanwhile, OPEC's oil output is likely, when we get the statistics in for July, to reach its highest in recent history, as Iraq pumps more and also Nigeria manages to export additional crude. Fox News contributor, oil industry analyst Baron Lukas on the line here with us this morning. Baron, good morning to you. What's the story here? Is this an attempt to destroy our oil industry on this side of the ocean?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been an attempt to destroy our oil industry for about 2 years now. So it is an oil price war. There's no doubt about it. OPEC has turned the wick up a little bit, but it's really the marginal countries. Nigeria had a real problem the last couple of months. Now they're back online. So is Libya. Iran is doing a little better, although I think they're pretty much capped. I think we're seeing about max production for OPEC at this time, but that just increases their supply of oil, which drives the price of oil down.
And of course, we're loving it at the gas pumps with lower prices. Fox News contributor, oil industry analyst Baron Lukas on here the line with us this morning. It's back to below $2 a gallon in many places. And Baron, what is the overall thing? When oil prices go down, of course, it affects stocks and everything else, and also hurts our guys who are out there getting the oil for us. But I think when you talked about Nigeria and others, I think it points out the fact that we need to be dependent on our supply because we have plenty, and we don't really need to import anything. And when as unstable as a lot of these countries are, like Nigeria and others, you're going to cut off your supply at some point.
Yeah, you make a very good point. And here's really the point for the morning. That point is that with the shale revolution and unconventional production, we, for the first time as Americans, have the opportunity to be energy independent. We literally have enough oil, gas, and coal for centuries in this country.
Yeah.
So, but right now, I mean, that's the future reality if we choose to go that path. Right now, though, we only produce about 50.5% of our daily use of oil. Produce that much and we import the rest. So we still are dependent on a lot of countries, and that's really an issue. I spent close to 30 years in the Marine Corps, most of which, after the Cold War was over, looking at the Middle East or being in the Middle East for various reasons. And so that kind of dependency drives national policy, drives defense policy, drives everything. And you're absolutely correct. I think with the right kind of leadership in Washington, we could be energy independent within a few years.
It wouldn't take much, and like you said, we have plenty to last us for a long time. But we're having to constantly fight the environmentalists, and Byron, they just make up stuff, saying that fracking is causing destroying the water supply, earthquakes, and everything else. I'm sure they're probably going to blame it on the sun rising in the east next.
Well, that's very true. There have been a lot of misinformation passed around, whether it's global warming or anything else. But the reality is this. The reality is that every industry, including the oil industry, needs to be environmentally conscious.
Sure.
I run an environmental company. I run a company called Envirology Solutions. We clean up oil spills using bacterial agents. It's good to be green as long as you're making money.
Yeah.
And so I think being responsible is where the oil field is going, and that's good. But you're right. The amount of regulations, not legislative regulations, but EPA non-vote-on regulations are hampering our own production. And so is this disinformation, this fear of water being tainted, which is not true, the fear of
earthquakes
to be produced is not true. So it literally is a lot of bad information that, unfortunately, mainstream media is feeding the American public.
Fox News contributor, oil industry analyst Baron Lukas. And Baron, a few years ago, I interviewed who was at the time the governor of Montana, Governor Schweitzer, and he runs his entire farm on gasification of coal. And he said once all the mess is taken out of it and everything else, said this is the cleanest fuel around.
Yeah, that's very true. It's what you choose to believe and what the media chooses to feed the American public. And we need to understand that we have the capability to do some things in this country that we've never done before. Being energy independent will change the entire global perspective. It will drive economic prosperity in the United States, and it will also lead to a significant freedom as we make decisions about our national policy. Mm-hmm. The reality is that we've lost somewhere around 750,000 jobs in the oil field in the last 2 years. There have been countless numbers of bankruptcies, and so the oil field is not doing well. Mm-hmm. Now, they're also tightening their belts. They're becoming more efficient, and technology has gotten so good, and it's getting better every day, that our ability to produce at a lower cost changes almost daily, improves almost daily. Mm-hmm. And so it won't be very long before we start talking about very, very cheap oil. I represent a company called Crudefunders.com. It's a crowdfunding for the oil field. There's a project in Houston, just northwest of Houston, where the lifting cost, the price of getting oil out of the ground, is as low as $5 a barrel. That's pretty good work.
Yeah, no kidding. Baron, we're going to have to leave it there, but I appreciate it. I'd like to stay in touch. This is great stuff. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Fox News contributor, oil industry analyst, Baron Lukas.